Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel, Military Video Tech. U.S. aircraft carrier docks in Vietnam after monitoring Chinese bases in South China Sea. A U.S. aircraft carrier will this weekend arrive in central Vietnam on a 6-day friendship visit at a time of growing Chinese assertiveness in areas of the South China Sea claimed by Hanoi. At a press conference yesterday, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Pham Thu Hang confirmed that the USS Ronald Reagan, a Nimitz-class nuclear-powered carrier, will arrive in Da Nang on Sunday. Recently, Vietnam has received visits from naval vessels from different countries, and this time it will be a visit from the USS Ronald Reagan, Hang said. This is a normal friendly exchange for the sake of peace, stability, cooperation, and development in both the region and the world. The visit, which had been reported earlier, will be the third by a U.S. aircraft carrier to Vietnam since the historic visit of the U.S. Carl Vinson to Da Nang in March 2018, the first since the end of the war. The U.S. Theodore Roosevelt then visited in March 2020 to mark the 25th anniversary of the normalization of diplomatic relations between Hanoi and Washington. The arrival of the U.S. Ronald Reagan and its 5,000 crew members comes at a time of growing friction in the South China Sea, where Vietnam has protested a series of Chinese incursions into its exclusive economic zone, EEZ. In May, a Chinese survey ship accompanied by several Chinese vessels sailed into Vietnam's EEZ in the vicinity of Vanguard Bank. A number of similar incursions have taken place since, raising the temperature in the disputed region. Vanguard Bank was the site of a similar Chinese incursion in 2019, which resulted in a standoff between Vietnamese and Chinese Coast Guard vessels. Like the two earlier carrier visits, the arrival of the Ronald Reagan reflects the two nations' rapid strategic convergence over the past 2 decades, driven by a shared, though by no means fully congruent, concern about China's growing power. But it also comes at a time of relative stagnation in bilateral relations, which has seen a slowing of the momentum of recent years. For the past year, U.S. officials have pushed hard for an upgrade to the two nations' relationship from the current comprehensive partnership to a strategic partnership, to mark the 10th anniversary of the former. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and Vice President Kamala Harris have both recently expressed their desire for an upgrade in their relationship with Vietnam, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken, during his visit to Vietnam in April, said that an elevation of formal ties could occur in the weeks and months ahead. They concluded that Vietnam's decision about whether to elevate relations with the U.S. hinges on how it anticipates China's responses, as well as how well Washington does in respecting Vietnam's sovereignty and securing equal and mutually beneficial cooperation with the country. It is within this framework that we should interpret this weekend's carrier visit. The U.S. Ronald Reagan was initially scheduled to visit last year, but the trip was cancelled unexpectedly. Carl Thayer of the Australian Defence Force Academy in Canberra, a leading observer of Vietnamese politics and defence policy, suggested that the Vietnamese side cancelled the visit because of rising tension in the South China Sea.